Hello Year 10. So what I'm going to do is walk through your Easter homework, the sample exercise that we did on solving equations, so that you have got the model answers and you know how to answer them in future. So I'm going to work between my laptop here and my whiteboard here, and I'm going to show you step by step how to answer each of the questions. For those of you who submitted it, I've had a look through some of your work, and I think this is the best way for me to give you feedback. So the first question here was the question 10, A and B. I've written these two out. So to solve this one, there's two ways you can do it. You can either expand it all and then work it out, or you can just see that if you divide by 3, both sides, then you would have 2p minus 5 equals 7. We all know how to solve these equations. You got better and better in them in class, and you've done them online with Hecate. So I add 5, and I've got 2p equals 12. And then if I divide by 2, I can see that p equals 6. Okay, so that would be the answer for our first question. For the second question here, I'm going to draw a line underneath it. We've now got an x on both sides. When we get into the end of time in school, we got pretty good at doing these. I need to get all of my x's on one side and all of my numbers on the other. So first I'm going to work with my numbers. I'm going to have to add 11 to both sides to get this 11 from here to over here. So I've got 9x equals 5x plus 18. Now I want to get this 5x over here. So I've got to take away 5x from both sides. If I take away 5x from both sides, I've got 4x equals 18. We all know how to solve that. 4x equals 18, you divide by 4, x equals 18 over 4, which is the same as 4.5. Okay, so those were your first two questions. Those were solving like we've solved in class before, and like you've done with your Hecate work. Now, if I move on to the next question, as much as it has loads of extra steps, it's not actually that much harder. So we've got 7k minus 3 equals 3k minus 5. Now what I want to do is expand this side and then do the same process before. If I expand this side, I've got 7k minus 21 equals 3k minus 5. I'm going to get all my numbers on that side, all of my letters on that side. So I'm going to take away 3k from both sides. And now I'm going to add 21 to both sides. 16. 4k equals 16, k equals 4. Again, as much as it has the extra steps, it's all something that you're good enough, you can all do. You're all good enough to do it. Now, this question would be harder because it looks different, but the actual process of it is exactly the same. Now, instead of having 7, let me just write it over here. So 7 minus 3f over 4 equals 2. What do you think the first thing we're going to have to do is, over here we had to expand. Down here we're going to have to multiply both sides by 4. If we multiply both sides by 4, we've got 7 minus 3f equals 8. Now we've got an equation we can solve. I'm going to have minus 3f then equals 1. And then that means f equals minus 1 over 3. Okay? So it looks harder, the numbers aren't as nice, but it's something we can all do. Now, if we move down, we're all very good at this. You're all very good at the think of a numbers because we did it in lesson and you're all great at it. So if Martin thinks of a number and he multiplies it by 3, he has x times 3. He then subtracts 5, take away 5, and the result is 22. You can either have it set up like this, or you can use the function machines like we had done before. So we would have x times 3 would give you something, minus 5 would give you the 22. Now, we're all really good at the function machine way, so I'm going to show you this way. If I'm going backwards from 22, I need to add 5. If I add 5, I then have 27, and then I need to divide by 3, and that will give me 9. So Martin thinks of Oh, my spelling is terrible. Thinks of 9. We're all really good at those ones. When we get down to here is when we start getting into our simultaneous equations. So what I'm going to do is make a whole separate video for the simultaneous equations, okay?